You can go to the website, send me your prayer requests and your praise reports, but there's also a free digital download there on what are the building blocks of faith, what is salvation. And I want you to go there, download that, and let me be your pastor. Let's start doing life together. God has a life by design for you. God bless you.
What if you could tackle your dog's itching, mushy poops, and low energy? Millions of pet parents are raving about Dr. Marty Nature's Blend.
Such a huge difference in her health. More energy, more playful, no more pooping issues.
I'm Dr. Marty. I've been a veterinarian for more than 50 years. The dangerous ingredients added to many pet foods could be impacting your dog's lifespan. That's why I formulated Nature's Blend.
Now you can feed your dog wholesome cuts of real meat, vegetables, and fruit with no artificial preservatives or fillers. Try Dr. Marty risk-free. Go to drmartypets.com/TV.
Stay tuned to get a free automatic toilet bowl cleaner from Mermaid. Your sink stopper's broken, and fixing a drain is a pain. Introducing Mermaid Drain Magic, the instant solution to most broken drains. Just remove and replace. In seconds, you can fill and drain with a simple press of a button. Drain Magic makes replacing your old, broken, rusty, even missing sink stoppers fast and easy. Drain Magic's anti-clogging basket helps prevent clogs in your sink, catching hair, food, even jewelry. Made with brass and chrome and a silicone gasket, it creates a watertight seal. Order your Mermaid Drain Magic today for only $19.99 and get a Mermaid toilet bowl cleaner absolutely free. Drop it in the tank for up to 3 months of cleaning. But wait, this could be your last chance to get Drain Magic at this low price with free toilet bowl cleaner. There's a strict limit of 3, so order now.
Call 1-800-519-4303 or visit GetDrainMagic.com. So call 1-800-519-4303 or visit GetDrainMagic.com.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
We have to rise above challenges and find strength in the midst of adversity.
We are in a battle of good versus evil.
Satan is the father of confusion.
I don't care what they do to me. I'm going to keep calling them out.
They're berserk trying to disarm Americans, and we need to push back.
I'm glad you're fighting for America.
There's always hope.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider, because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Faith and Freedom. I'm Shemane Nugent. The Epoch Times is one of the last real newspapers left. It's fearless and independent and dedicated to uncovering the truth. You know, Chinese operatives just launched a massive cyber attack trying to shut it down. But here's the thing. The Epoch Times newspaper isn't backing down. While mainstream media runs cover for corrupt politicians and big tech overlords, this newspaper just keeps exposing the truth. Whether it's politics, global affairs, the latest in health and wellness, arts and entertainment, and the fight for free speech, Epoch Times is on the front lines, delivering the stories they don't want you to read. Take a look.
Through this process, the Epoch Times has been a light in the dark for the American people. The Epoch Times is independent, not for profit, and is not controlled by any corporate or investor interest. Freedom of the press and humanity are the foundation of the Epoch Times. Born to expose persecution in China, the Epoch Times has grown to be the top 5 newspaper in the United States by subscriber count. Our stories on American politics have changed the game, exposing issues that impact America. Join the millions of people who trust the Epoch Times for their news, grounded in truth, tradition, and hope.
Janice Trey, a woman who knows firsthand what tyranny looks like, was born in China during the Cultural Revolution. Janice spent years in a brutal labor camp, witnessing firsthand the destruction of faith and freedom and humanity and dignity under communism. She escaped that nightmare, put herself through school, and became a global leader in media, business, and human rights advocacy. As the head of the Epoch Times, or Epoch, I'm going to ask Janice which way it's pronounced. and NTD TV, She Fights Every Day to expose the dangers of totalitarian regimes and protect the fundamental freedoms that so many people take for granted. Janice, welcome, and thank you so much for joining me.
Well, Shemane, thank you for having me on your show. And Epoch, I call it Epoch, but we publish in 35 countries, regions, and 22 languages. So we have our subscribers call it in many different ways.
I always just say Epic because I've subscribed to the newspaper for years. It's the last best newspaper. But when I got to sit next to you at Mar-a-Lago, you always said Epoch. So thank you for setting the record straight. That was fun, by the way, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great event, and I got a lot of positive feedback, and I think it was very special. Yes.
So, Janice, tell us what it was like growing up in China during the Cultural Revolution.
It was really challenging time. My parents were college graduate engineers, and during Cultural Revolutions, they were sent to forced labor camps to do labor work. And I grew up as a forced child labor, grew the sugar cane to finance the school, and also pick up crops dropped on the crop field every day after school during harvest seasons because they use hand tools. And the closest school I attended, it took me 1.5 hours walking by foot, past through the crop fields, cemeteries, and hills. And back then, I have no idea what the outside world looked like until I got slips from the balloon, flew from Taiwan. The slip talk about we don't ride bicycles, we have private cars, we have refrigerators, we have televisions. And I asked my parents, what's refrigerator? There was non-existence in the labor camp.
So what was the thing that you said, I got to get out of here? Was there one trigger? Did you escape with your family or was it by yourself?
It was challenging situation. I mean, luckily, my grandfather on my maternal side, he was in Hong Kong. He fled communism because when communism came to China, they robbed his bank. He owns a bank, and they robbed his antiques and his art collection. So he went to Hong Kong when he got sick. We trying to apply to visit him in Hong Kong. And luckily, I was able to get there. And my father, as an engineer, he knew Einstein believes in God, but he had no chance of learning Christianity. So he sent me to Christian school and living with my grandfather. And so that's how I got to Hong Kong.
And okay, talk about, if you will, what it was like when you escaped. What were some of the things that you were up against, and were you scared?
I traveled alone as a child, and it was my grandfather arranged some associates of him to accompany me through the customs and travel with someone I've never met, no idea. But, I just have, at that time I didn't think of much. I have no idea what Hong Kong would look like. And it was away from parents. That was unsettling, but we wanted to get out of the camps, everybody trying to get out, but it was not easy. And they trying to separate the family into batches, even though we qualified, to go to Hong Kong to take care of my grandfather. But they trying to extort money, they trying to put a lot of restrictions. But luckily, I landed in Hong Kong. And it was because I was in Hong Kong, I also escaped the Tiananmen Square massacre. I would have been in Tiananmen Square. My best friend was a medical school student, and he personally worked on the ambulance at Tiananmen Square, and he carried dozens of injured students and dead bodies, and that was the trigger point for me to apply to college in the United States.
That's an amazing story, and I'm so grateful that you're okay and that you're here to talk about it. What was it first like when you came to the United States? What did you see that just really stood out, or maybe you tasted different food or smelled different things? What was it like for you?
So I came to University of Texas at Austin. I applied for many colleges. I was accepted by UC Berkeley, University of Virginia, which I was very much interested because of Thomas Jefferson. I chose UT Austin for its high ranking and a low tuition and also location in the capital. I have no opportunity to have college visits before I make the decisions. And my first roommate was Hispanic. The first time meeting Hispanic family, have a lot of Texas Mac food. It was a great experience. I have no idea what life will be like, but and I was lucky. And my mentor at church helped me choose my major. Noel told me that since you landed at University of Texas, Austin is known for the #1 accounting program in the nation. So you should study accounting, go for the best, and then get your CPA license as quick as possible. At the time, they were big A accounting firms, and afterwards you can change to do other things. So I follow her advice, and so I've been a certified public accountant for 3 decades with active licensing.
We've only got about a minute left in this segment, and you're going to stick around for another segment. But I wanted to ask, what made you start the Epoch Times? If you have a CPA degree, how does that work?
So the Epoch Times was founded by others, and 25 years ago, I was asked to take the CEO role, 9 months ago. And because of my corporate experience and extensive experience in financials and also deal with lawyers, and it's at the time where we need to grow Epoch Times in order of magnitude. So I have Fortune 500 executive experience in half a dozen companies. And Epoch Times has grown to order of magnitude, but not quite there. It's top 5, but so we want to get to #1 position. So I was lucky to be picked.
Well, in my book, it's the only newspaper worth reading. I subscribe online, and then I there's something about having a good old-fashioned newspaper and having coffee in the morning. And you have been so bold and brave and an Esther to be involved in that and to stand up for faith and freedom. So I thank you so much for that. But Janice, can you stick around for one more segment?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back. But first, if you love faith and freedom, which that's why you're here, and you want to support true patriots, then you need to support Mike Lindell and MyPillow. I actually talked to somebody who didn't know about MyPillow the other day, and I was like, you don't? Everybody knows about MyPillow. Mike Lindell is one of the first to have gotten canceled. He's a bold, unapologetic conservative who stands for God, country, and the American dream. And he's been attacked relentlessly for it. But instead of backing down, that seems to be a theme here. Instead of backing down, he's doubling down. MyPillow isn't just a great product. It's American-made, ultra-comfortable, and built to last. I want to tell you a quick story. The other day, we have a couple of pillows on 4 on our bed. And there's one that isn't. And Ted was sleeping with that pillow that wasn't on MyPillow. And he woke up with neck pain for about a week. And in the middle of the night, he switched and got the MyPillow, and he woke up and he goes, you know what? My neck pain is gone. True story. So go to mypillow.com and use the promo code FAITH or call 1-800-933-6972. Don't lose another night of good sleep. mypillow.com, promo code FAITH. We'll be right back with Janice.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this.
Navage, allergy relief that works.
So when you're dealing with allergies and you've got that stopped up feeling and you can blow your nose and it's a little bit better, using the Navage takes it all away. Put the water in the top chamber, put the pod in, close the lid, put it in your nose, push the button, you're done. I love Navage. It's natural, it's effective, it's fast. Probably the best investment you could make if you suffer with allergies.
Pick up Navage, the #1 doctor-recommended brand.
When the kids turn unholy, Harrelson's Own keeps my patience divine.
When work flies out of control, Harrelson's Own keeps me cool as a cucumber.
The device madness never ends, but Harrelson's Own keeps me zen.
Life can be chaotic, but Harrelson's Own CBD helps keep you calm through any storm. Harrelson's Own consistently delivers your full mind and body homeostasis. It's an organic, full-spectrum CBD in a refreshing oral spray. Our nano-emulsified technology makes it completely water-soluble, so your body absorbs it immediately. You'll start to feel it in seconds, not 60 minutes. It just makes everything feel better.
And it helps me just take the edge off. It helps me relax. It helps me be there with my kids.
I swear I'm like a mental ninja. Like nothing can throw me off balance.
No matter how many things come at me, I'm like, boom, handled, next. I'm like crushing it all day long.
Well, some people take it for a release from stress. Some take it to get rid of pain. Others just take it for general well-being. For me, Brett Harrelson, it just makes everything about my day a little better.
Give your life a boost.
It's just the best you've ever felt in your natural state.
My happiness in a bottle is the best.
So to sum it all up, you're going to feel the benefits quickly, love the way it feels, and like the way it tastes. Pay a fair price, and you're going to thank us for it. We are so confident you're going to be satisfied that we back every bottle with a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Give Harrelson's Own a try, from our family to yours. Go to HO.com to order Harrelson's Own now. Yep, it's that easy. Just our initials, HO.com.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this.
Hey, Ted, you know, we are lucky because we live off the land.
Venison.
And we hunt. We are bow hunters, but not everybody can. And I don't know how you feel about this, but we don't like to buy meat from the store. We don't want to encourage anybody to buy meat from the store.
It's unsafe.
It's unsafe. It's got antibiotics, chemicals, mRNA in it. But we did find this beef that is freaking amazing.
I'm not a big fan of beef, but I've become a big fan of beef. It's the best we've ever had.
It is. And if you
What's it called?
Switch to them, go for the beef with never ever label. But if you really want to go, I'm looking at Coco in the back. If you really want to try it, check out Switch to America with Shemane. What's
Switch to America with Shemane. I switched to America with Shemane.com. Switch to America with Shemane.com. The best beef, the most delicious, the healthiest beef in the world.
We love it, and we know you will too.
We're back with Janice Trey, who escaped communist China and lived to tell about it and made a global empire. And she's now the head of the Epoch Times newspaper. Janice, welcome back.
Thank you, Shemane.
So what do you think really caused China to become a communist nation?
The history was, for 5,000 years, China did not have communism. So Russia, it was imported from Russia. They mobilized the farmers, promised the redistribution of the land. That's how they have the revolutions. But instead, they rob the land and start food rationing. So when people's survival based on food, that's how they censor people. And then the next 10 years was the Cultural Revolutions, where educated people were no escape. As I mentioned in the prior segments, that my parents as engineers, they were no escape. And then in 1989, we all remember students stood in front of the tank, the Tiananmen Square massacres. So pro-democracy students were persecuted. And then in 1999, they started the persecution on Falun Gong, which based on truth, compassion, tolerance, and 5 gentle sets of exercise bring tremendous health benefits and spiritual upliftments. And so you see the Communist Party systematically pick an innocent group of people and persecuted them and to silence the rest. So it's an act of terrorism. And in fact, the tight control by the Communist Party is not only inside China, they extended to America. For example, like the bomb threats, the slash the tires on the Shenyun bus and all sorts of threats to Shenyun. Shenyun showcased China before communism. They are most afraid of people know the 5,000 year civilization pre-communism. In fact, the Epoch Times published the 9 commentaries of the Communist Party on November 19, 2004. In the past 20 years, this book has inspired 443 million Chinese withdrew from the Chinese Communist Party memberships and the younger tiers. And this is a catalyzing the transformation of China back to a new communist state from a communism.
You know, excuse me, I've been a fitness instructor since 1980, just a couple of years. But I know firsthand, I got sick and almost died from toxic mold, and I know firsthand how important healthy living and taking care of your body, mind, and spirit are. Why, you brought up Falun Gong and Shenyun, I want to talk about Falun Gong. Why are they so threatened in communist China by that practice?
So Falun Gong was started in May 13, 1992 by early part of 1999, it has grew to 70 to 100 millions. In fact, if you look at U.S. News Report in February edition of 1999, it reported the sports committee estimated 70 to 100 millions. And it's said it saved 1,000 yuan Chinese currency per person. For those who work in government enterprise in China, the healthcare system was based on you pay out of pocket and you get reimbursements. And so a lot of people become healthier. They never need to get reimbursement again. So that's how it spread. Word of mouth grew so rapidly. So basically, 1 out of 13 Chinese practice Falun Gong. Even though Falun Gong is apolitical, but Chinese Communist Party leaders were never elected. And 5,000 years of civilization, there were no communisms. So its own sense of insecurity, in particular, the values of Falun Gong based on truthfulness, compassion, tolerance, those are in stark contrast with communism's using propagandas, using lies, using force and class struggles, and so it's like a mirror, good and evil. It's a stark contrast, and I also worry about revival of the classical values, remind people of the 5,000 years without communism. And another reason was Communist Party leaders saw the opportunity to make money on Falun Gong practitioners. They don't drink, they don't smoke. There's a worldwide shortage of organs for transplants. So nobody wants a smoker's lung or alcoholic person's liver or kidney, and they can make $1 million by taking the body parts. And because they 70 to 100 million people, so for organ transplant, it's not only the blood type match, but also tissue type match. And so huge populations who are healthy, and that will give the we call the state organs, forced organ harvesting. They kill people on demand while they're alive. Think of like a heart, 6 or 8 hours afterwards is not usable. So they kill on demand, and they make huge amounts of money. The persecution started with Jiang Zemin, who was so successful in crackdown the student movement in Shanghai, overnight become the Chinese Communist Party's leader and his own rise to power. He's known as the Chinese Hitler. So it was him who started the persecution, and in a way to see who's truly loyal to him because his own sense of insecurity. The health benefits of Falun Gongs, there were 4 major health surveys, over 50,000 sample case, and improvement in health over 94%. So despite the brutal persecutions, people continue to practice because they found the true health benefits.
Well, we're going to switch gears a little bit. I've only got a couple minutes left, but can you tell us a little bit about the one country, two systems policy in Hong Kong?
Well, actually, effectively, it was not carried out. And you remember the umbrella movements, and Epoch Times has been reporting about the Hong Kong situations. In fact, the Chinese Communist Party sent people to set fire on a printing press, and suppression of freedoms. Post the colonial times, 1997s. It was very sad. They even threatened, judges, they cannot change all the laws that written, during the colonial times. So there's no real one country, two systems. It was never enforced. And right now, China has put a lot of pressure and censor people in Hong Kong.
Do you see anything that's happening in the United States right now that makes you really scared because you've seen it before in China, in communist China?
Yes, in fact, the People Liberation Armies waged 3 warfare: psychological warfare, opinion warfare, and legal warfare. The psychological warfare was like the threaten, like self-censorships. The opinion warfare using legacy media, such as the New York Times as a proxy, and also the legal warfare. So there was a book called Americans Against America. So this has been applied using its proxies. As you know, the assistant chief of staff, for the New York governor's office, was an unregistered agent, driver of the California member of Congress was a Chinese Communist Party agent. So we have to be very mindful of Americans against Americas, and similar situation happened in Taiwan and in Korea. So we need to be very careful, and I think we need to tell our Congress and tell our administrations, to stop the extension of the persecution on American soil. Right now, there is a Falun Gong Protection Act in Congress, and so you could tell your congressmen and senators, to support that.
And there's something that a lot of people don't know about, especially in Texas. They are coming after white-tailed deer, and I think they're doing it for one reason: to eliminate our food source. They don't want us to eat healthy, and they're slaughtering tens of thousands of white-tailed deer to look for CWD, chronic wasting disease, which is not a thing, and they liken it to mad cow disease. There's never been an instance where that has jumped from an animal to a human, but they're scared, or they're saying they are. And I don't know, Janice, it seems to me like that would be something like communist China would do.
Well, we have to be mindful. Another pandemic. Remember back in the COVID, actually Epoch Times reported the pandemic in December 2019. And some of our subscribers changed their return flights earlier, avoided the lockdown inside China. And for Americans, subscribers, they were able to get N95 masks, when they were abundant of supply at the regular price.
I love it. I recommend it. Janice Trey, thank you so much for joining me. God bless you.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider, because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this.
Are you sitting right now? It could be harming your health. Back pain, stress, and serious health risks can build up from sitting too long. But motion changes everything. Introducing Ready Rocker with its patented Rock Perfect design that supports your spine as it helps improve posture, relieve back pain, boost circulation, and release endorphins for your overall well-being, no matter where you are. Lightweight, portable, and covered in memory foam, Ready Rocker instantly transforms any chair or space into a healthier sitting experience.
Sitting too long isn't just uncomfortable, it's unhealthy. With Ready Rocker, we make sitting a healthier experience for people of all ages.
From soothing babies to helping with posture, back pain, and stress, we discovered that rocking can truly improve lives.
Sitting is the new smoking. A sedentary lifestyle, whether you're sitting at a desk or in a vehicle all day, is not good for the body to just stay in that same position. And that's why the Ready Rocker is so effective. The rocking motion constantly keeps you active and helps you ease pain, reduces stress. It actually releases endorphins in the brain. It's a mood booster.
I used to be in pain all the time, but with Ready Rocker, I felt relief and I'm in a better mood. I take it everywhere.
I can literally feel the stress being taken off my joints while rocking.
My back stopped hurting, my arthritis felt better. It's just wonderful.
Now you can join the movement that's changing lives and helping thousands find relief. Call now or go online to get 35% off your purchase. We'll even ship it for free. Plus, you'll get this bonus canvas tote bag.
Ready Rocker is changing lives one rock at a time.
Now it's your turn to experience the relief for yourself.
Call 1-800-592-1572 or go to GetReadyRocker.com. That's 1-800-592-1572 or go to GetReadyRocker.com. Call now.
Gentlemen, there's a war in your face, and the enemy is relentless. Eye bags, dark spots, wrinkles, dry skin. They will stop at nothing to make you look older than you feel. But you don't have to stand by and surrender. It's time to fight back with Particle, face cream for men. Particle's 6-in-1 formula is the secret weapon you've been looking for. It's the ultimate counterattack against the signs of aging. The mission: diminish eye bags, reduce wrinkles, remove dark spots, defeat dry skin. Enlist with Particle today and join men just like you who decided to fight back and won the battle against aging. Visit ParticleMen.com. Lock in your target. Use the promo code on your screen to secure 25% off your entire order. We're offering free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Join the fight with Particle.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this. You know, Americans' confidence in healthcare has hit an all-time low. Sure, there's, a new administration and changes on the horizon, but change takes time, and your health can't wait. That's why I'm taking control of my own health with Field of Greens. Now, we all know that we're supposed to eat healthy, right, and do all the right things, but life gets busy, and sticking to a perfect diet isn't always realistic. Field of Greens makes it easy. It's whole fruits and vegetables, and that's it. So you just put one scoop into your water bottle and sip it throughout the day. Ted and I have both noticed that we've got way more energy and just feel better overall. Every fruit and vegetable in Field of Greens is doctor selected for specific health benefits. There's heart health group, lungs, kidney, and metabolism group, and even healthy weight group. And Field of Greens promises at your next checkup that your doctor's going to say, wow, what are you doing? Give me some of that. No, he's going to notice that you're feeling better, you're looking better, and all the signs that you are better. And if not, you get a 20% discount. You can get all your money back, but I'm also going to give you a 20% discount to get started. So go to fieldofgreens.com and use my code FREEDOM. That's fieldofgreens.com, and my code is FREEDOM. The teachers' unions have had a stranglehold on our public education system for decades, and what have we gotten in return? Test scores are dropping, standards are in the gutter, and classrooms have turned into indoctrination centers. But now a new organization is stepping up to fight back. The Teacher Freedom Alliance, or TFA, is giving educators a way out, a choice to reject politics and get back to teaching. It's backed by the Freedom Foundation, and it's gaining serious traction among teachers who are fed up with the union agenda. Here with me now to break it all down is Oklahoma Secretary of Education, Ryan Walters. Ryan, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me on.
So, what exactly is the Teacher Freedom Alliance, and how did this come about?
So, I got to give all the credit to the Freedom Foundation. I've worked with them for years, and they've been talking about, why is it that in your state we've launched things like merit pay for teachers? So here in the state of Oklahoma, you can make up to 6 figures if you're a great teacher. We give the biggest signing bonuses in the country. We do all this free market reforms in our education system, and yet the teachers union fights us every step of the way. And they said, we want to create an organization that allows teachers to be a part of a broader organization and talk about what's best practice in the classroom. How do we continue to improve and drive educational outcomes? And how do we make sure that what we're doing in education is about academics and not about indoctrination? And so they kicked us off, and we are so excited to be a part of it here in Oklahoma. We've got Oklahoma educators so excited, so thrilled about it, because, again, this means better outcomes for our kids. When you get teachers focusing on those results and get them away from the teachers union that has been pressuring and bullying teachers for decades, it's a huge win for our kids.
So teachers unions have already claimed to provide support. So why do teachers need liability coverage?
Yeah, because the teachers unions just do this as a way to try to trick teachers into joining. The reality is remember, what teachers unions do is they often support the worst characters in the classroom. They are taking your union dues and supporting teachers that have no place in the classroom, number one. Number two, they use those dues to go and politic to get radical legislation across the finish line. They fight school choice. They fight parents' rights. They fight any kind of innovation in education. Why? Because they're about power and money and their woke ideology. Remember, it was the teachers' unions that joined up with the Federal Department of Education under Joe Biden and the Justice Department to go after parents for going to school board meetings. That's how radical they are. This group has pushed transgenderism, DEI, CRT. So teachers, don't join the teachers union. Join other organizations that actually support you in the classroom, actually support academics, and aren't trying to push a left-wing ideology.
What's the pushback that you're getting from teachers, if any?
Oh, none from teachers. The teachers union is fighting mad. I mean, the teachers go, well, we didn't know these choices and options were out there. I'm amazed. I want to tell you this. 2 years ago, we started just showing our teachers what the National Teachers Union supports. Because even if you join a local teachers union here in Oklahoma, 40% of your dues go to the national one. And when we showed them just what the NEA said at their national conference, they were appalled. We've seen union membership in our state plummeting because our teachers go, we don't want to be a part of that. We didn't know all the things they were advocating for. So this is a major call to teachers to say, listen, these teachers unions are radical left-wing advocacy groups. The leadership is not out to support teachers. They're not out to support education or our kids. So leave the teachers union, go and join groups that actually support parents, support teachers, and support real education. So that's what I've heard, is that people are just shocked that there's other groups out there, and they've been very excited about this opportunity.
Until President Trump came back, we had teachers that unfortunately were pushing the DEI agendas, the transgender policies, and even political content that, was indoctrination for children, unfortunately. But they also provided some legal protection. So is this going to provide them with legal protection?
Yes, that's one of the things the organization does, is help provide liability insurance. And look, states should continue to look at ways to do that, because this is one of the only ways that teachers unions can really get folks into joining, is to say, look, we'll protect your liability here. Our state has looked at this. I know other states are too. But when you can help protect teachers that are just doing their jobs, and they are doing a good job, if you can protect their liability there, then it really gives them no reason to join a teachers union. So this group helps provide that. I think that's huge. I think it's huge to continue. They advocate for merit pay. That's something that I've never understood, is you see so often in education, schools, states reject merit pay. We've had it here in Oklahoma. It works tremendously well. It was something that we introduced because, of course, it works. It works in every industry. It works in education. Great teachers should make more. And if you're not doing a good job, you should be out of the classroom. And let's only have good teachers in the classroom so that our kids can have a great education.
Hallelujah. So can parents get involved in this too? And how can they find out more about it?
Absolutely, yeah. Sign up, go on the website and look. The Freedom Foundation has a lot of great materials on their website here. Continue to go look at those things. And again, continue to follow the work we're doing here in Oklahoma. We're going to continue to push for these type of reforms. The education system needs it. There's no better time than now with President Trump in the White House. I mean, my goodness, look at the Department of Education is going to be going away. Power is going to be returning back to the states. President Trump has laid out the path for success. States need to jump on board. The Freedom Foundation is doing a great job in doing that, and we're excited to be a part of it here in Oklahoma.
So if somebody wants to find out exactly how to start doing this in their school system, what are the steps that need to be taken? And is it possible that this can just go nationwide?
Absolutely. Again, they welcome anyone in the Teacher Freedom Alliance. So any teacher from any state, they can join on and they can be a part of this organization. Even if their school district isn't a part or things like that, they can still be a part and get those benefits. And again, as this movement keeps growing to leave the teachers unions, you're going to see more and more opportunities for teachers to find great spots for them in the classroom, to find these type of resources. And so, yeah, it doesn't matter where you are in the country. As a teacher, you can go sign up for this. And again, President Trump is really laying this path open to go, hey, without the Department of Education, remember, they were a big partner of the teachers union. The teachers unions are the ones that asked for the Federal Department of Education back in the 1970s. They got it, and those two have been partnering against parents and against good teachers ever since. So this is a tremendous opportunity. The Department of Education is going away. Look at this organization here. I think it's a real winner for our teachers. And again, a real even bigger winner for our kids.
During the pandemic, I homeschooled my son on 2 different occasions, 1 year each, but he's now 34. But during the pandemic, a lot of parents were talking about hiring teachers that got laid off. What about homeschooling? Does this apply to just a group of parents who are concerned and they want to maybe hire a teacher to help them with this? How does that work?
Absolutely. Look, that's one of the things that we've seen, beyond the pandemic is education can look very different. That's why, I support school choice. We have the most robust school choice here in the state of Oklahoma because, again, whether you go to a traditional public school, a micro school, a private school, a charter school, a homeschool co-op, all of these things are great opportunities for parents to look at for their children. So again, what we want to continue to do, good teachers that want to make a difference in kids' lives, no matter what type of school you want to teach in, absolutely. We want you to be part of a connected network where you can go run ideas off of each other, share best practice, continue to work together. So yes, I think that's one of the things we've got to continue to do is look at education in all the different ways it can benefit kids. And again, that's thinking very outside the box. It's thinking differently. It's thinking through innovation of ways to make sure that kids understand the basics in their educational models.
Well, that's so awesome. Ryan, thank you so much for what you're doing. God bless you. And keep us posted, will you? Will you come back and give us some updates from time to time?
I would absolutely love to. Thank you for having me on.
All right. God bless. Take care. Don't go away, everybody. We have so much more to come. And also, I want to give you some information. If you don't already know, I just released a new book in January called Abundantly Well, and it's changing lives. A lot of people have told me, summer's around the corner and we're going to be wearing shorts and bathing suits and things like that. Get a group of friends together and do this 40-day journey together, because then you got accountability. A lot of people say, I just can't do it. Yes, you can. You can do it, but it is better. Things are better with friends, and to have an accountability partner or 2 or 6 or 10, it really does make a difference, because if you don't work out one day, you're letting somebody else down. So go grab my book, Abundantly Well. It's available on Amazon. We'll be right back.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider, because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this.
Anybody who owns property should worry about home title theft. There's no other crime that is so easy, so quick, and so lucrative.
Your home, your equity, and your peace of mind can all be stolen in one fell swoop by home title thieves like Matthew Cox.
Nobody thinks that I can take their house. Nobody thinks that.
Believe it or not, a single-page document is all it takes to transfer proof of ownership out of your name.
People think there's a whole huge process, but the truth is, it's a one-page document.
But it still must get through one final barrier, the county clerk.
When someone comes in with a fraudulent deed, if it's notarized and all the spaces are filled in, we by statute have to accept it. We cannot give it back to them and say, we know this is fraudulent, we're not going to file it. That's against the law.
It's public records. It's a recording system. They don't make a phone call, they record it, that's all they do.
Bottom line is, yes, it happens, and we can't stop it from happening, and it only takes once for it to sting you, and it's a very sad thing to watch.
You've put your love into the house, and all of a sudden, it might not be yours. It's a devastating crime.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock will monitor your title nonstop, alerting you to suspicious activity.
If you can get a warning notice that this first step has happened, you can stop the rest.
This person from somewhere in New York stole our property. So I was surprised. I talked to my father about it. He advised me that he had taken out Home Title Lock about 8 months earlier. We logged into Home Title Lock. He had 5 alerts. Immediately we contacted them, and within about 2 weeks, the deed was put back in my parents' name.
If you give us a call right now and mention promotional code LOCKIT, we'll give you your first 30 days of protection absolutely free.
Home Title Lock lived up to every promise they made.
Go online or call now, 1-800-493-1175, and sign up today.
Do you have a box of videotapes, film reels, or photos that are degrading? Legacy Box professionally converts them to DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud. Legacy Box is simple and safe, with over 1 million satisfied customers. Visit legacybox.com today and get 50% off.
Wounded Warrior Project empowers post-9/11 veterans and their families with life-changing programs and services.
I faced my PTSD, and I'm a better husband and father because of it.
We help warriors get the expert care and support to thrive.
I got involved. I got healthier. I got to be an athlete again.
Through our programs, community, and advocacy, we're proving
anything is possible.
Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/connect.
Attention homeowners. Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Is your home worth less than you owe? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need to call this number right now.
Call 800-714-8615.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this. There's a lot of things we can trust and a lot that we can't trust. And I know that I can trust Century Wellness System. It removes harmful toxins and enriches your water with essential nutrients. How cool is that? It's much healthier and much cheaper than buying plastic water. And, you know, it's wrapped in plastic and it's in plastic. And when those trucks that carry the plastic water bottles are porting this plastic water bottles, they're not cooled. So all of the chemicals in the plastic leach into your water. Go to CenturyH2O.com and use the promo code HEALTHY10 and get a discount. That's CenturyH2O.com and use the promo code HEALTHY10. Well, these are the days of two opposing forces, great light versus great darkness. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against the powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. America is at a crossroads, and our values are under attack like never before, from the media to our schools to the courts. There are forces working against God's divine order and gaining ground. But here's the thing. Faithful Americans aren't backing down. We're in a spiritual battle. This is true. And it's never been more important to stand strong. So I'm excited to bring in my next guest, a man who understands this fight better than most. He's the head pastor of Tip of the Spear Church and my friend, Pastor Anthony Thomas. Welcome, Pastor Anthony.
Hi, Shemane. How you doing today?
I'm good. So there's no question the left has been working overtime to undermine faith in this country. Isaiah 5:20 warns us, woe to those who call evil good and good evil. But Anthony, what can citizens do? How have you seen that play out in America today? And what's changed after President Trump took office?
It's a great question. I have been really asking this after the amazing election and the amazing victory. What time are we in, God? Because I know our actions have to be congruent with the timing of God. And I've been in a deep study in Daniel, and God took me through. Daniel was a prophet that had a prophetic scope that was farther than most. In fact, so much so, he saw the end of time. He saw the last 3.5 years in the Antichrist government that will come into place at some time. And he saw the second coming of Christ. But right before, in Daniel 12:9, I want to read this to you. He saw this time period before the Antichrist kingdom would come into place. And he says this, the angel told him, he said, "Go your way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end." So he had a revelation, and the angel told him it's not yet time to release what this is. But this is what he said, "Many shall be purified." And that word purified means to be brightened, polished, or purged out. That's the process we've been going through as believers of allowing God to remove things out of our life, to put the right things in. It said made white and refined. That word refined is very interesting in the Hebrew. It means to fuse metal together. And you have to understand in Daniel 2, an evil king named Nebuchadnezzar saw all of the kingdoms throughout time in an image. The head of it was gold, the chest was silver, the thighs and the belly were bronze, the legs were iron, and the final kingdom, which is going to be the Antichrist kingdom, was clay and iron. And isn't it interesting? He saw then a rock that came out of heaven and was not cut by man's hands. It was cut by God. We know that rock as Christ came down and crushed all of those kingdoms. And it says this, "But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand." When I watched President Trump give one of the most amazing speeches here last week, and one of the most touching moments of that was when a 13-year-old cancer survivor, DJ Daniels, got up. I mean, if you had a dry eye, something's wrong with you. And when you watch our elected politicians unable to stand up and clap for that young hero, I don't know what wicked is, but I got to see it in first hands. And that's what the scripture tells us. It says the wise are going to understand what's going on. So you're going to see in the days to come, Shemane, God is going to reveal things to the church and to those that are following them like he never has before. But the scripture also warns us the wicked will become more wicked and they will not understand.
You know, we've seen speaking of wicked, there's just an absolute blatant disregard for traditional values, God, family, country, from liberal figures, as you mentioned, in power, not being able to stand and clap for Laken Riley's family and all the other amazing things that Trump brought in that speech. 2 Timothy 3:1-5 describes these times as saying, but mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, ungrateful. Anthony, why do you think we're seeing such a disregard for faith and morality from those in power?
I think it's because we're coming near the end of time. And the Bible is very clear. Jesus said at the end of the age, there will be a harvest. Wheat and tares are going to come to full maturity. That means you're going to begin to see people that really start to look a lot like Jesus in this life. And you're going to see people that look like Satan himself. And so we're talking about a wicked governmental system that we know, just as Daniel saw, there is going to be a kingdom that's going to come into power. And it's a very intense passage. It says that there will be two metals, iron and clay, that adhere together. And this is all part of transhumanism, AI. We're moving this direction very rapidly, and we will have wicked leaders that at some point for a 3.5 time year period are going to be able to pull it off before Christ returns. In the midst of that, I think we're going to see the greatest move of God hit the United States of America. And I think we're going to see believers all over the world really start to operate in the authority and power of Christ in ways we have not seen for many generations.
I'm excited. I know you're excited. So many other people are excited, especially in Naples, Florida, which I just that's one of my favorite places on earth. And you have Tip of the Spear Church there. Tell us about how people can follow you online.
We have a website. It's www.tipofthespiritchurch.org. Naples, Florida is very unique. We are given the name Freedom Town, USA, and it is kind of a lightning rod city for freedom. We have many freedom fighters in this community. We're very bold. We're very outspoken. And we believe that this city has a very special destiny, as does the state of Florida, as a tip of the spear city and state to help turn this nation back towards godliness. And we stand in honor in that position.
Pastor Anthony Thomas, thank you again for coming on my show, Faith and Freedom, and I hope you'll come back again soon.
Thank you, Shemane. Have a wonderful day. Take care.
God bless. Okay, we're nearing the end of the show, and you know what time it is. Take a look.
It's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy and you let it. 9 to 5 for service and devotion. You would think that I would deserve a fair promotion.
Okay, so that's a whole lot of next level. First of all, with the dog singing, I wonder what would happen if Ted played Stranglehold and right next to Jackson. I wonder if he'd start singing that. The part that got me was when the dog was doing the the vibrato at the end. And then that little Australian shepherd doing the dishes. Can you teach them to do that? That's amazing. And then that's next level. I didn't think about putting the face mask on the dog and then kind of distracting them to trim, because our dogs just hate when you trim their nails. I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. I hope you guys are too. I hope you enjoy this show. Do me a favor and share it, because there's still people who don't know that we're out here and we put our heart and soul. Thank you to James on here, my producer, and Linda and Alyssa and so many people. It does take a lot of people to pull this off, to put it all together and to coordinate all of the guests, and we thank you guys so much for being here. But please share it. You can watch it anytime at realamericasvoice.com. And don't forget, guys, I also put my heart and soul into my books. I just came out with a book called Abundantly Well, and you could get that on Amazon. And a lot of people are doing this together as a journey. You know, we need to be healthy. I don't know how President Trump does what he does. He's got to be healthy. Hopefully he's stopping with the Diet Cokes and French fries. But he's got to stay healthy, and we've got to stay healthy too, because when God calls upon us, we can't just say, yeah, but I'm not feeling good today, God. So get healthy, get abundantly well, and also my book called Killer House. Every single day, people have asked me, what do I do? I think I've got mold in my home. I put it all out there in this book, Killer House, How to Recognize, Remediate, and Recover from Toxic Mold. All right, guys, thank you so much again for joining me. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. God bless you, and I'll see you next week.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider, because it's the outsiders who change the world.
Perhaps you were born for such a time as this.
My back got injured very bad. I was off work for about a year. I heard about Relief Factor from my wife. I took it every day, 3 times a day for 3 weeks. Look at her and I said, the pain is gone. And she said, I'm glad it helped. I said, no, you don't understand. it's gone.
You too can feel better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Call or go online now for our 3-week quick start, just $19.95.
When the kids turn unholy, Harrelson's Own keeps my patience divine.
When work flies out of control, Harrelson's Own keeps me cool as a cucumber.
The device madness never ends, but Harrelson's Own keeps me zen.
Life can be chaotic, but Harrelson's Own CBD helps